Damn, it's a Kuro.
Welcome back to the Upbringing. I know it's been a while. Today I want to get into talking about anxiety. But before I do that, Justin, I need to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is gonna make it to the finals with the Celtics?
With the Celtics.
Oh, with the
I already made that.
I'm surprised your Pacers are still in there.
Yeah, but I have no idea, man. I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea. Yeah.
Man, I want the Timberwolves to get in there. Yeah,
that would be nice.
I think Anthony deserves one.
Mm.
They've been killing it. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, this vibe a little different. Obviously, we got Marquita as usual is always on the road, never here. But this time we ain't let her get off that easy. So
I suggested it.
We trying out the StreamYard and we trying StreamYard out and hope if it worked and I might move forward with using StreamYard like that, man. Anyway, but I don't know where to look. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess she over there, so I don't know. Maybe we get
everybody looking over here, so it might as well be. Look at Marquita.
Yeah, I guess we'll look at her then. But yeah, I really don't know, man. I'm looking forward to the finals, though, regardless, man.
Me too, man. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
You gotta see if Anthony gonna pull it or Kyrie and what's his name? Luka.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I know you heard about Shaq. Y'all heard Shaq say that the NBA was scripted.
No,
that's not the first time.
That's not the first time I've heard it either. Yeah,
I can see that. I almost wonder if NFL is the same way.
Yeah, man. They say they have writers on payroll, right? So if you have writers, they're thinking, then why would you have writers if it wasn't, what I'm saying, like scripted out? So
are you saying like that's other than that's like outside of like being a journalist?
Yeah, they making it seem like that, like people who write TV shows. That's what people are making it seem like. I don't know what the writers are for, to be honest with you. But they claim the NBA has a writer, so I don't know. Maybe Shaq got a point, man. He would know, right?
He was in the game, so I mean, they ain't no telling. So
right,
but it also makes, now that you say that, it makes me question about the bets like FanDuel and draft picks and stuff like that. If they already know who's gonna win, and they're just trying to see where the bet, or depending on the bet, who's got the most is depending on who's gonna win.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. But I still love basketball, though, man. Shout out to the WNBA for making moves, man. They got some deal with Disney. If I'm not mistaken, their games are on Disney Plus now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so, man. I don't know. I could let me look it up real quick.
Oh yeah, the latest development has ESPN adding coverage of their WNBA opening night doubleheader on Disney Plus, in addition to ESPN2 and ESPN Plus. This will be the first time WNBA games have been added to Disney Plus.
Okay, that's what's up, man. What's up. Yeah. All right. Well, we can move. I had seen that and I was like, okay, they try to, what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Their popularity sparking because of course, Caitlin Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, but Caitlin Clark is that beast. No,
she a beast though.
Did Paige Becker go?
Did who?
Paige Becker. Is that not her name?
Paige Becker?
Yeah. Did she play for
UConn. She played for for UConn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so. She went to the league, or she
no.
She's still in college.
She didn't.
Or she didn't do anything?
Hold on, reading.
Okay.
Oh, she said she elected to return for another season with the Yukon Huskies.
Okay. Yeah. She keep. Yeah. Okay.
So she got what? This will be her senior year.
Must be her last year.
Well, I didn't know you could play. You could play for 5 years. I didn't know that.
I think this is something called like red shirting. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
Right. So
Okay.
right. So the first year is technically you're not on the team, but you are on the team. But as far as playing, but you could go for 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you saying like your first year,
It really don't count, so to speak.
good
I guess.
No, I don't think that it doesn't count. I think that it's something like if you redshirt, you don't really play. You like do practice
Right.
and stuff.
Right.
So they give you like 4 years of actual,
Playing
eligibility.
time.
seeing stuff.
So listen, man, I might be all wrong about that, but I think that's how it is. I had no idea though. But yeah, I'm ready. What we got?
Well, I'm glad that when we started this, we kind of already talked about I guess you would say the foundation of being an entrepreneur or growth in general. Talking about fear, relationship with God, making a plan and goals. Because I feel like all of us, in some shape or form, at some level, we deal with anxiety. Yeah, I know. There's a thing they consider an actual disorder, but there's so many people that actually suffer from anxiety, but not necessarily are diagnosed with the actual disorder.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like because of men or humanity creating more ways to grow, or also this more there are a pro and a con. Like we have more opportunity. We have social media. We have more technology that we can use to grow and stuff. But also those exact same things are the things that will keep us from actually doing those things, from growing and being at the level that you set for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
One of the scripture that I felt seen was Proverbs 15:6. It's better to have a little fear of God than a great amount of wealth along with anxiety.
Mm.
And I just thought that was interesting. When we had talked about trusting in Him and going to Him first about everything. The one that actually knows us the best. When we are first off, when going into life in general, having a relationship with God is the most important thing that you can have to start off with, and as you grow that relationship and you actually start working towards fulfilling those goals that you have, when you start to fall short, or when you start to get anxious because things aren't necessarily going the way that you want it to go, or you had thought it would go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use me as an example. When I lost my job this year, I looked at it all the time that I had, and with the time I have, I don't need another job. I'm gonna go into I'm gonna do this real estate thing. I'm gonna get a deal before I run out of money. Well, it didn't turn out that way.
Mm-hmm.
Still working on that within itself, but it was a lesson to not to, even though you have a great idea, it doesn't mean you just shut everything down and go and not saying not to focus on that, but what I'm saying is like I didn't give myself leverage to hold on just in case if it didn't work out the time frame that I wanted it to. So
I don't know, man. I don't know, y'all. I guess y'all can kind of chime in on this based off of what you were saying. I don't know if that's necessarily like a bad thing that you like you if I think the world teaches us if you're gonna go for something, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
In one
They got a whole
basket.
bunch of adages. However, I think if you don't go wholeheartedly in something as well, that you may regret it, or you may if it fails, then I guess you could have a backup plan. But I think you should. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I guess you shouldn't like go 75% in this direction, but still be pushing 25% because of fear. Because we're
Have
also
a backup plan.
about fear, right? So I don't know what you think.
I don't know. I guess I'm kind of 50-50 on it. It's more like, I think in order to really succeed at something, you have to give 110%. You can't just give 100% to it. So I think that you should. I see what you're saying by not going all in or having all of your eggs in one basket, but I think that
No. I was saying go. I think you should go.
You should go all
I think you should go
okay.
full steam at what it is that you want, and if it fails, then go full steam at something else. That's what I was saying.
Well, I wouldn't even
I know
say
the world
go
tells us
full steam in something else. If it fails, get your behind up and try it again. Just because you failed at it
like
that first
too.
time doesn't mean that that's just the end. And that's where a lot of people get hung up. And I guess that anxiety comes in that, oh my God, I didn't do this in this amount of time and whatever. So that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's over. It's done. No, try it again.
Well, I also understand that you got bills to pay.
I understand.
You get what I'm saying?
Of
like,
course.
I get that part too.
That doesn't mean that you can't go out and find a job and still continue to work
and still continue. You know what I'm saying?
I would love to do Ebize full time. However, I can't. So that doesn't mean that I now slack up on doing Ebize and now I only give Ebize 25% because I got to work too. No.
All right.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, just because you only spend within that day, maybe 25% of the day is focused on that, doesn't mean you're not giving it a 100% effort in what that is.
Right.
And I feel like, too, that's another thing that people will, even myself, fail to recognize or remind myself is, even though that I have to go to work, I get off at a certain time. Mm-hmm. All right. How much time after work can I give myself to work on myself? Mm-hmm. It can be an hour, it can be 2 hours, it can be 4 hours. But depending on the individual and depending on what you're actually working on and what your situation is, it might be different from everybody else. Mm-hmm. But the whole idea is to not give up, which is it's hard, especially when you're trying to be when you're working on becoming an entrepreneur, when you're working on your personal growth, is different than what we talked about before, your habits. So, and then you have other people that are so used to you having a certain schedule or a regimen, and when you try to switch it up, they get thrown off at the same time as well. And
I wouldn't be concerned. I wouldn't be too concerned with other people and what I got going on.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is just like, especially starting out and, you're still working on your personal growth. Sometimes you like, for example, family, they're used to you always being there. And when every outing that your family has, they expect you to be there. But, there could be outings that you have to like, not go because you got to work on this, you got to work on that, and doing that, not all the time, not every family, but there might be times where you are going to get negative feedback from your family, and that can be difficult for some people.
Yeah, well,
that's just just as an example.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, man. I learned that everybody's different, so what might not bother me, you get what I'm saying, may bother you, and vice versa. And that's why I was saying I don't think I would be too concerned with what they got to say, to be honest. But at the same time, just because I'm not concerned with it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be, or that it wouldn't affect you. I'm trying to be more sensitive to that kind of stuff, because like me personally, a lot of times I I have approached things like everybody thinks like I do, or everybody looks at the situation the same way that I do, and that's just not the case. Or it'd be a whole bunch of clones out here, right? Everybody approaches things differently, and you got to have some empathy. Is not quite the word, but you got to have some kind of a way to relate. Yeah, maybe to relate to them. You know what I'm saying? To how they're feeling about their situation, because if I'm trying to better myself and my family getting upset because I'm not going to this particular function, or they got to cook, whatever the case may be, then I'm probably just X them out altogether. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, whatever. And then they really be wondering why I don't come around. You get what I'm saying?
No, I feel like also too that that's a good reason why we should always be open minded. Because again, like you said, everybody has a different outlook on things.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's got to be some median of where you can relate with somebody, even though you're not entirely agree with somebody's decision or why they do things.
Oh, excuse me.
I don't know. It's just I just feel being open minded is just very it's helpful for not only you but for other people. And also that just helps us to not be so stubborn and stuck in our own ways, because we always feel like people should see it the way that we see it. We can't grow a community like that. Yeah, you want people to have a similar goal than you, but their vision is their vision, and our vision is our vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep in mind that there's more than one way to get to that same goal too. So, so I agree with you on that. When you did a scripture on anxiety, and it automatically brought this one up for me. Philippians 4:6-7, or more so 4:6. It says, the New Living Translation says, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank him for all that he has done. That's the first thing that comes to my mind when I feel like we get anxious, overwhelmed, or feeling of failure, is pray. That's my number one resort about a lot of things in life. Pray about it. I'm not saying that you're going to pray to get an answer, but you should be praying for some guidance, for some assistance, for some peace. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to anxiety, it's you're feeling overwhelmed and you need God to calm your spirit. So keeping that prayer life open is what helps you stay connected and stay at peace. So.
Yeah, I like what you said about with you pray to God, and you don't necessarily should expect the answer, but He will give you some type of guidance to get to that result.
Right.
And if we don't, so that's why it's so important to listen when you pray and look and pay attention, because He can either send somebody your way to adjust to help you, or He can, I don't know, put a post. You can be scrolling through Instagram and see something and it just speaks to you. And that just be like, you know what, I need to get my head right.
Right.
And also, speaking of social media, I feel like social media sometimes too can be a stigma for people trying to grow, because when you look on social media, you look at people's social media life, it's lavish, it's all this and all that, and I feel like that's another reason why a lot of people deal with anxiety, because they feel like they gotta have it now. Because from what you see on the screen, that's exactly what it looks like. But what we fail to realize is how they got there,
Right?
And the process. Yeah, that's just something that we have to keep in mind. What about you, Marquita? What you think?
I mean, I agree. Like, sometimes you sit there and be like, dang, they got a nice life, but like you said, how did they get there? Like, are they depressed? Like, are they going through something behind closed doors that, we don't see because they're not showing that. So I think sometimes social media is a cover up for, certain things in people's lives because they try to portray that their life is perfect and it's really not.
Yeah, I like that you said that because I feel like there's a lot of people who use social media to make their life seem like it's they're successful, but in reality they're not really successful. It just looks that way. But you have a big follower, a lot of followers versus somebody who doesn't. That doesn't necessarily mean the person with the most followers has a more successful life versus the other one. That just means it can just mean someone. One priority is different than the other person's priority.
I used to think like that. I don't any longer though. I used to think that people would get on social media and just try to, and it's still true, but would just try to make it appear that they have a great life. And then I started realizing that I don't think that's the case all the time. I think what's happening is people aren't as transparent as others. So what's happening is they only share the highlights. You get what I'm saying? I don't think they're going
the lows.
Right. They keep the lows to themselves. They don't want everybody knowing all the lows because they're not as transparent. Like a lot of people say, I'm way too transparent. You get what I'm saying? Like I talk too much, right? Versus like my brother is very he keep everything, you know what I'm saying, close. You don't want nobody to know nothing, right? And so actually neither one of us do social media, but he ain't never did social media. You know what I'm saying? Like I think when he was really young, but he doesn't do it. But my point is like a lot of people just don't have that heart of I'm gonna share, and I want you to see. They just like, man, when I'm going through it, bro, I'm going through it by myself or, with my family or my immediate family, and nobody's gonna know. But when I get back right, then I'll get back on it. So it appears to us that, man, they only showing all the good stuff. They looking, you know what I'm saying? But that's not necessarily the case all the time.
I was gonna say too, even with sharing content, in reality, overall, your goal is to reach as many people as you can when you post content. Some of the idea is so everybody sees it, right? But that's another thing that can get people anxious is they keep looking at the numbers or the scales of like how many people see this, how many people.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a friend of mine, Deja, Bad Mother Hustle. Check her out. She's got great tips and everything for mothers or upcoming mothers. I would definitely check her out on Instagram. But with her and I was talking yesterday actually, and we was actually speaking about, she feels that there's times that she shares too much information, and I was like, well, there's times that I feel like I don't share enough information, like on which she has a little podcast and in this podcast, and and we just got to talking, and she was just saying she had to realize that she's not going to be the cup of tea for everybody. But because she took the courage to voice out everything that she had on her mind, those individuals who you're actually trying to reach, and they see that, those are the ones that are going to actually appreciate what you, and it could just be one person, but like I said, it could just be one person that's seen it, but it's the purpose, your purpose of putting it out there. It is the main focus instead of not the spotlight, if that makes sense. And that was just a good reminder for me. Not that I really deal with that, but it's just like just a reminder as I am posting stuff. Yeah, there might be sometimes it might be 20 people that view the video versus another video might have 100 people that view the video. But it's not the video. It's not necessarily how many people see your video. It's just did somebody get something from it?
Right. Definitely.
Yeah. So I want to know though. The whole time I've been sitting here listening is like, what do y'all do to deal with anxiety when you have anxiety?
Well, I feel like for me, like well, if I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed, I feel like I'm not moving forward. Sometimes I have to stop. I have to take a break, take a step back, and sometimes and look to see the results. Like, if is there anything that I can improve in? And am I not doing enough of this? I'm not doing enough of that. Just kind of just breaking it down so that you can see where maybe there's a little tweak you can make to improve and to progress things.
So you kind of stop and analyze the situation. Like you look at it and try to figure out what's going on here, and then you formulate a plan, like an action plan, as to what you're going to do about it.
Exactly.
Okay. What about you?
I guess in a sense it's a little similar. Most of the time I'm trying to figure out what is going on, what has me now anxious. Just because I deal with so much in life, so you're trying to pinpoint, okay, what is it that I'm truly anxious about? What has me feeling antsy or whatever. But like I mentioned before, prayer is my next go-to. I need to sit down and pray about it. Okay, God, give me a sense of peace and show me what could be going on. And then from there, I guess like you said, you're formulating a plan. Okay, what do I need to be doing? What do I need to be changing?
So that's the
what next.
It comes out a little different, but it sounds pretty similar to Dom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Does.
Like how he does, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think those are bad answers, man.
And I just think too, it's good to remind yourself what you have done that's good versus
that worked.
Or not necessarily what's worked yet, but not necessarily just what's worked, but just what you're doing. Because sometimes people are like, oh, I'm not doing enough. But if you look at if you step back and look at what you actually have done from where you were, like, okay, I was here at first, and now I'm here. Now I'm back in a bubble, or I'm back in a corner. How do I get out of this corner so that I can go from here to wherever the next thing is?
You got a tip?
I don't have a tip, but just when I feel anxious or anxiety, I drive, listen to my music, try to clear my head, or sometimes just drive without any music, or, go somewhere and walk. But also during that time, speaking to God, praying, asking for answers or guidance. And another thing is, as far as like with social media, when you get on social media and, you're going through something and somebody posts something, or you see a word or something, like, dang, that was right on time. So it's like different little things that I do to get through that.
Okay. I personally don't think I deal with anxiety. I cannot think of anything that I do that deals with anxiety. I think that I would have to do some real reflecting, because while I'm listening to y'all,
So
I don't.
Are you saying that you're never anxious?
No, I'm not saying that.
You're saying you never actually deal when you are anxious.
I'm realizing now that I've never really addressed anxiety. I deal with anxiety like I'm dealing with anxiety at this moment, I guess, with about to stepping back into a field that I haven't been in a little while, which is management. I think I kind of like tell myself, like, I know that I'm capable. I've done it so many times, so many years. Mm-hmm. Like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't know, but is that am I masking it? You get what I'm saying? Like, am I just trying to mask it, or am I actually, like, do I not get anxious?
I think you do, but you don't realize it. Because at one point in my life, I didn't realize that I had anxiety or, things of that nature, until I sat down and thought, like, dang, I really went through that. Like, how did I get through that type?
Mm-hmm. No, man. Like I said, maybe by the next episode I'll have something for you, because I
think when you say that you know that you've done it before, acknowledging that, look, at one point in time I did go through this and I made it through it.
Mm-hmm.
So reflecting back on, you may not realize it or not, but you probably do some of the things that you done previously to get over it.
Oh, so you're okay.
So
because I do realize, like, I know. Well, I guess I could say this. There's something that I tell myself, like, okay, one night I was in and it may be weird, and I'm not suggesting anybody go by. So one night
we couldn't get through one episode without something crazy. Go ahead. Just one.
One night, as driving the track trailer, I was up north somewhere, and it was like middle of the night, probably 2 a.m. in the morning. I don't know if you were with me or not. You may have been with me, but you were asleep. And it was like pitch black. However, it was snowing, and you could not see the lines in the road. It was snow everywhere, and it's just falling out the sky, right? Mm-hmm. So it caused me to get delirious. And I know that y'all, I looked this stuff up. Other drivers have talked about it, but it's just like white specks just going, and it's pitch black, and you don't see anything else. It'll cause you, I think they call it like something blindness or something. But anyway, I was starting to get delirious and dizzy and actually feeling sick. So I'm thinking, oh my God, man, this might be it for me. Now, something that I do that I've always done is, I don't care how bad the situation is, it's going to end some kind of way, right? So, mm-hmm. and now that I realize it, like when I am feeling anxious, I always tell myself I'm going to either be in a bed or sleep by the end of this, or I'm going to be dead. And either way, it's going to be over. And that seems to calm me down. But I'm not.
Look at it.
I know, but I'm saying that I'm not suggesting anybody approach life like that. I'm just telling you that's how I have done it all the time. It's like one way or the other, it's going to come to an end. You know?
Oh, that's true. It's
one way of being real with yourself.
Right.
I mean,
well,
it's realistic.
It's going to be over soon. I'm either going to die or I'm going to be laid up in the bed. Like,
either way, I'm gonna be laying down.
Right. But that's a hard truth.
Right.
You know, it might be easy to tell somebody else that, but you tell yourself that, it's like,
right.
But I guess it works for me, man. I guess so. Little sayings like she was suggesting, I do that. I look at a situation. If I've been through this situation before, no matter how it's looking right now, I'm gonna make it through it. If I can tell my kids that, look, it looks like it's the biggest thing in the world, but I promise you it's not, then I can tell myself those same words. Because a lot of times you like, oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna pay this. Man, I'm gonna lose this car. Man, you buy another one. I mean, I'm not suggesting people go out there and just lose their vehicles or lose loans. You know what I'm saying? Foreclosing. I'm not suggesting that. But what I'm saying is life will continue. Right. And none of that mess is gonna matter when your life is over anyway. Right. So I just kind of like tell myself those type of things, man. So I'm pretty sure my answer is not a clinically suggested answer. But it's just certain ways that I have learned how to cope and deal with stuff, man. And I'm gonna let y'all finish, man, but I just want to remind, we had to cut this one short for everybody, man. Got an appointment. My son got to get his little head cut. Yeah.
It's all flu. But before we close out, I just want to say, the good way to help with this would definitely be to have a plan, an actual schedule, so that you see every day that you have a schedule. You see what you got to do. You see what needs to be done, and then when you get to another I would say obstacle, sometimes it's good to just look back. This is what I had. This is what I've done. All right, now that I'm stuck, or you've plateaued. Like, okay, now what can I do more? But having a schedule, getting up early, not necessarily don't waste your time just sleeping all day, or stay active. Always tell people exercise is good. It's good for the body in general. Good for your mind. So, like I said, just be proactive.
Right.
Always.
Look, before we close it, just because because you said something that it made perfect sense. When you said set a plan, also plan for setbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Plan ahead. Just in case something happens, this doesn't go the way that I think it's gonna go. Have a plan B. So plan for those hiccups to come in there as well. So.
And that's good. It's when you're because eventually something's gonna happen, but automatically putting your mind like this could happen.
Right.
It kind of helps to be like, so when it does, you're not surprised. You're not
right.
Then when you are surprised, when people freak out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's good. I like that.
All right. Any closing remarks, or we gonna get up out of here? Marquita.
Oh, any closing remarks?
Hey,
I was like, no, I just, like you said, just journal. I guess just journal. Just be my closing remarks.
All right, man. Well, we'll catch y'all the next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Wrong show.
Dragon Ball Z.
Hey, listen, we'll catch y'all the next time. No, seriously, appreciate y'all for joining us. Be sure to subscribe, man. Hit those comments and tell us how y'all deal with anxiety, whatever the case may be, man. How y'all deal with any of these disorders, man? Watch our older videos when we started Upbringing, man. At the beginning of the year, did we launch Upbringing at the beginning of the year?
First weekend, I think.
Yeah. So go back, man. Good content. Seriously, man. It's more of a positive type of conversation. And if y'all want that regular convo, we still come. It's irregular. Don't get me wrong. It is irregular, but we still come. We bring y'all Enamor Reacts, the Enamor podcast. We still come with that. So anyway, man.
Yeah, go check out the last video with Enamor as well. If you guys are any Drake or K-Dot fans, definitely go check that out.
All right, man. We out.